Hi, Dr. Michael DiMattina here at Dominion Fertility in Arlington, Virginia. So my people today asked me to talk about myself, and I don't like to toot my own horn. I'm maybe a little shy in that. I like making babies, but to personalize who we are here at Dominion Fertility, I really love being here at Dominion Fertility. I feel blessed to have the opportunity to work, and particularly to work in this field. I mean, what's not to like? Making babies every day, it's a lot of fun, it's very rewarding, and to make people happy. And particularly because I've been involved in this field for over 30 years now. I'm one of the pioneers, if you would, in the field of IVF. IVF started in this country in 1982, and I've been doing IVF since 1984. And I have a world's first to my name back in the 90s that we did in embryo cryopreservation. And I didn't even know it at the time. I was just doing my work. And People magazine came to us and interviewed us and said, do you realize you're the first person in the world to do this in embryo cryopreservation? I said, no, I didn't know that. So we let our work talk for ourselves, and you know, Dominion Fertility is kind of a community of people. It's really, really personalized care. We think that matters. We don't like to treat people as numbers. We're there for our patients. We care about their success. Their success is our success, and we're happy about it. All right, just a little bit about me, and I'll probably never do this again. It's a little embarrassing, but I'll blow my own horn. I guess I'm a true Washingtonian. I was born at Georgetown University Hospital and raised here locally in Arlington, Virginia. Went to schools here locally, and got an interest in chemistry. In high school, I had a really cool chemistry teacher, and so I decided, you know what, I'll get a degree in this in college. And I kind of like challenges. Everybody knows that I'm a competitor. And so I went and got a degree in chemistry and was hired at the National Institutes of Health in Bethesda, Maryland, to do biomedical research in cancer. And I tell you, it was fascinating. And met some really brilliant people there, Nobel Prize laureates for that matter. And so the doctors there said, Mike, you need to go to medical school or get a PhD. We recommend. The doctors there said, go to medical school. The PhDs there said, go to medical school. So I went to medical school, Medical College of Virginia in Richmond, Virginia. And it was a great experience. I loved everything. That was the problem. I didn't know what I was going to go into. But I liked obstetrics and gynecology because you deal with people who are generally healthy, upbeat, positive. You can cure them, deliver babies, practice general medicine, do surgery. What's not to like? So I did that at Georgetown University, my internship and residency. And during my residency, this is how I got to become a fertility doctor. One of my professors, who was a perinatologist, a high-risk OB doctor, said to me, Michael, I think you'd be really good at IVF, and you should do a fellowship in infertility and reproductive medicine. And I said, why is that? And he said, well, you're one of the few doctors in medicine who understands laboratory medicine because you have a degree in chemistry and used to work at NIH, used to be a researcher. And I think that's what the future of this field is, and I think IVF is going to be big. Now, that was 1983, he told me that. So I said, okay. So I started my fellowship in reproductive medicine in 1984. It was a combined fellowship at the NIH, where I did my research in reproductive medicine, Georgetown, and then also in England, where IVF all started. The world's first IVF baby was 1978. In the United States, as I mentioned, it was 1982. So I got to be very fortunate, I was very lucky. I got to work with the best of the best in the world in IVF, and I was hooked. So I came back and here at Georgetown, and I decided, you know, I wanted to open up Dominion Fertility. And so I did. And we had a first right away. There was a procedure called GIFT that was done by opening women's abdomens and putting eggs and sperm into their tubes to make babies. And I devised a way to do it laparoscopically without opening their abdomens and do it as an outpatient. And we got really good at it. And we had the first GIFT baby in the Washington, D.C. area in 1987 deliver. And then from there, we went on. And the reason we got into GIFT is because the IVF pregnancy rates back in the 80s were horrible. I mean, if you had a 10-12% pregnancy rate, you walked on water in the early 80s. Now, to show you how things have improved tremendously, I mean, we didn't have these back in the 80s, did we? So things have really improved a lot, and now the pregnancy rates exceed 50% for all of our patients per transfer of a single genetically normal embryo. You now test to make sure the embryo is genetically normal. So back then, 10-12% pregnancy rates is what it was. And with GIFT, we were getting 30 to 40% pregnancy rates, but it required surgery, an outpatient laparoscopy. We don't do that procedure anymore at all, even though we had a lot of success with it. IVF has gotten better. So I'm kind of proud of that. Dominion Fertility has been, a great place. We've had other firsts here, Dominion Fertility. We have the oldest patient in the Washington, D.C. area who had her own biological baby with her egg the very first time I put an embryo in her. And she was 47 and a half, almost 48 years old when I put the embryo in her. And she delivered a healthy baby at 48, almost 49 years old, the first time I put an embryo in her. And that lady had tried to get pregnant elsewhere between ages 41 to 43. She failed 4 stimulated IVF procedures at another institution, and they told her you need an egg donor at 44, and she didn't want to do that. And so she came to me at 47 and a half, and I said, yeah, you do need an egg donor. I don't want to do that. So we tried natural cycle. I really didn't think it'd work, but it did, and so we were happy for her. Then I've had so many other cases that are personally, rewarding to me and give me a lot of satisfaction. I had a lady from Saudi Arabia, and between the ages of 38 and 40 in Saudi Arabia, she did 13 cycles of stimulated IVF over there and didn't get pregnant at all. And I said to myself, wow, who does 13 cycles of stimulation? I couldn't personally do it, I don't think. And on the strength of that. Women are stronger than men, I guess. And so she came to see me, and she was 41 years of age, and she had a strong ovarian reserve. And so I said, give me one chance. And so I collected 20 eggs from her. We produced 8 embryos, but this time I used modern technology, and we tested the embryos to make sure they were genetically normal using pre-implantation genetic testing. And I found one that was normal. And I put it in her, she had a baby. And so then she sent her sister over, and we got, at 43 years of age, we got 3 genetically normal embryos, and we're expecting her sister to get pregnant too. There have been so many stories I could tell you all day long. I won't bore you with them. We just love what we do. We're right now involved in an international research project, which is NIH grade, because there's a lot of rubbish that goes on in my field that's published on the internet. If you want to go to the internet and read a lot of rubbish, it sounds good and sounds very convincing. A lot of slickies out there, but a lot of it's a scam. And unfortunately, the patients sometimes can't filter the good stuff from the bad stuff. So we're involved right now in a project out of Spain. Carlos Simon, he's internationally well known and respected, chose Dominion Fertility and one other IVF center in the United States to do the American arm of this multinational study on human implantation. So these are people who have had embryos put into their uterus. They didn't stick. Why is that? And so we're involved in that. I mean, it's very gratifying when somebody at that stature were to call us up and ask us to participate. We've produced thousands and thousands of babies here, and it's great. The best part about it, though, is when people, like a patient of mine said to me a few months ago, she said in consultation, she says, Dr. D, what I really like about your practice, I go, what? She says, well, this place is just like Louis Vuitton. So I played dumb, and I go, Louis Vuitton, what's that? She goes, oh, you'd really like that place. So I know Louis Vuitton. And that was very, very satisfying to hear. And it gave me a lot of, what's not to like? It's just great. So for me, I feel very blessed and fortunate and lucky to have the health I have, number one, to have the people around me I have who make these babies. This is not just me. It's a team approach. These people are so dedicated, so caring about our patients, and we run a practice like no other, I'm sure. Okay, out of the office, what do I like to do? I'm a weird guy, maybe a little eccentric. So my mother and father were both professional dancers, and I'm the only doctor in the family. And my father passed about 12 years ago, and 2 weeks before he died, we're watching Dancing with the Stars. So we're sitting in a chair in the nursing home, and he says, you know, Michael, I used to do that. And I said to him, yeah, Pop, I used to watch you dance on TV. It was black and white TV in those days, by the way. So anyways, I'm dating myself. But he said, you know, I really thought that you would be good at this, at dancing, but I never encouraged you, which is true. He wanted me to go to, you know, do some other field. I happen to like medicine, so that's how that happened. So in honor of him and my mother, sorry I get choked up, never forget it. But he said, you know, I'm going to tell you where to go to learn some dancing. So I did, and so I did a couple of showcase ballroom performances in honor of my mother and father. And so after that, the girl I was dancing with said, I'd like to get you into swing dancing. So I got into swing dancing, got hooked. And I've been swing dancing the last 7-8 years and competing and having a lot of fun doing that. So I do that a little bit. Getting to be an old Chippendale on the dance floor, but I still have fun. Play a little golf. That's a lot of fun. I firmly believe in exercise, so I still try to do that. Like to travel. I used to play guitar, so I like music a lot. I like to go to concerts. I saw David Crosby and Alison Krauss recently. Tony Bennett. So how's that, you know? I have a real love of music too, and so that's me. That's Dr. DiMattina. That's Dominion Fertility. That's who we are. The other doctors are just as incredible people. The nurses, the laboratory people. I mean, I couldn't be any more fortunate. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Any questions, perhaps, Amy?
Well, no, but many people saying that the infertility community is very lucky to have you. We're coming up on our 31st birthday.
This month.
Is
yes.
it true, though, that you like to throw a great party at Dominion Fertility in honor of your patients, in honor of your employees?
Well, you know, we do. I have to tell you that this is a group of people that are totally together in more ways than just showing up for work from 8 to 4 every day, and actually we open at 6:30 in the morning for our patients. Now, that's early, but you know what? They need it, so we're there for them. And so we open up 6:30 in the morning. We just had a party last Saturday night for one of our people who've been with us for about 10 years, and she was a cornerstone of our clinical part of our practice. And we had a lot of fun. Drank too much margaritas, but we had fun. And, you know, very, very rare does a person leave Dominion Fertility. It's usually because they move away from town or they want to stay home with their kids. This particular individual is a dynamo. She's incredible. And she's very happy here. But a recruiter recruited her to work out in San Francisco. Well, it turns out her daughter lives in San Francisco. So that's why she's leaving. She was crying her eyes out, as we were, you know, that she was leaving Dominion Fertility. But people love it here, and they tend to stay here. And it's my job to make sure that we attend to their needs too, not just our patients, but also their employees. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time. It's great to get to know you just a little bit better.
Thanks
I don't
so
know
much.
how you do these 10-hour days and you keep going and you work every day of the week.
I go to the gym, and you know what? I don't like the grass to grow underneath my feet. And you know, you rest, you rust. I've always had a lot of energy. I try to use it well. Not always, but I try. And I think that's what keeps me moving.
Well, thank you, Dr. D. We appreciate your time and for all the miracles you have made over 31 years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope to see you at Dominion Fertility.